it makes your heart reach out to other people. Real worship from the heart, regardless of what people think of you, is not selfish. And you don't really care what people think. You want to bless other folks because you come to realize you've been blessed. And that's what David did. He turned around and blessed the people. Now, here's the sad part. His wife saw this from the window, and she was angry. David, after blessing the people, decides to go home and bless his own house. Now, come on, y'all let me use my sanctified imagination. I believe Mrs. David, Michal, was about to be blessed. Come on, I'm just trying to. He done blessed everybody else. And the way he blessed everybody else was giving them bread and raisins and stuff. That's what it said. But I just believe the king already had bread and raisins. So he went home to bless his house. Somebody gonna hear me up in here. But how can you bless your house when you go home and you got a mad wife? Who not just mad, but who despises you. Which means somebody's house ain't getting blessed up in here tonight. Now watch this. Come on, y'all just let me preach it here. Let me show it to you. It says he done blessed everybody. And it says now, verse 20, he returned to bless his household. Come on, I'm just trying to read the scriptures. But before he could get to the house, now this is the other thing. This is the thing that blows my mind. He went home to bless his house. Before he even get to his house, his wife, who despised him, didn't even have enough dignity to wait till he got in the house to pull him aside, not as to embarrass him and say, hey, baby, you know, you was acting kind of crazy out there, and you the king. No, the Bible says she went outside to meet him. Now, come on, I know I'm probably doing some eisegesis here. I know how to exegete. I do, I understand, but I'm trying to make it live. I just don't believe she went outside. I believe she went outside with her head on a swivel and her finger up. Are you crazy? Have you done bumped your head, boo-boo? What you doing? You the king. Wish I had somebody. Come on, it's right there in the text. It says she went out to meet him. Now, I'm going to show you this because as I'm reading this and studying this, and you think that I'm maybe putting too much into it, but I'm reading it because of what she did, but his reaction. Now watch this. Come on, here it is. It says, so David returned to bless his house, and Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David. Now I got to say this before I go any further. Because there's a reason why she's being referred to as the daughter of Saul and not David's wife. Because David didn't want to marry her. You can read the story yourself. I don't have time. But what comes down to it is there was an agreement to keep peace between the tribes. So David took her in. But there was really no love there. But you know, every now and then you want to bless the house. What's love got to do with it? I just want to bless the house. Oh, I wish I know some of y'all. I done lost some of y'all. Are y'all with me here? So she came out, and it says the daughter of Saul came out to meet David and said, and here it is. Here's why I know, and y'all, when I said the finger and the attitude, she's sarcastic. See, when you read the text, she's sarcastic. Here's what she says. How glorious was the king of Israel today. It's right there in the text. And I don't believe, come on, let me get close, let's go. Since it's Black History Month, I just don't believe a real woman of color can say that without swiveling her head and her finger. My, tis, tis, how glorious was the King today. Come on, y'all. Right here, right here. Who uncovered himself today in the eyes of handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovereth himself. So you do find out that when you do stuff for God, listen, folks who don't understand will see other motives other than the real motives. His motive was pure. He danced with all his might before the Lord. Yet she saw him trying to shamelessly be an exhibitionist before the hand servants. Now, can I really make this live? Come on, I'm going to get to the end, but here it is. David ain't got to fake the funk. David had a rep. If he wanted somebody, he'd go get it. Just read your Bible. And especially since he had a wife that he ain't even like or didn't like him, but she's accusing him of trying to do something in front of the handmaidens. Are y'all with me here? So look what happened. Look what happened. Come on, it's a lot in here. It says, so you do like the vain fellows who shamelessly uncover. Here's what David says. David said unto Micah, listen, it was before the Lord. And that's how I know he got angry. Because he went there. Now, what do you mean, Pastor, he went there? You know, there's some arguments you have. And you know, you try to stay behind the fence on some arguments. But then there's some arguments where you come from behind the fence. And those are those arguments you finally go, well, your mother. Come on, don't act like y'all ain't never been there. You know, I'm trying to be cool with our argument, but your mom. Look what he does. He said, first of all, and I got to raise my voice because I believe it's where he said, first of all, what I did was unto the Lord. Second of all, Micah, Michal, whatever your name is, I don't. It was before the Lord because he chose me instead of your father. See, let's get to the nit and grit of it. That's why you're mad. Because he chose me instead of your daddy. And you should have thought daddy should have been the king, but I got the kingship and you've been mad all along. Now see, you blew your blessing, sister, because I came home to bless the house. Sorry, that's not in there. That's me right there. That was me. I'm sorry. Come on, you'll see it in there. It's between the lines, right? Which chose me before your father and before all his house to appoint me ruler over the people of the Lord, over Israel. Therefore will I play before the Lord. Y'all see that there? Ooh, therefore will I have a good time before the Lord. In other words, watch this. I'm taking kingly privilege. I can do what I want to do, especially when it pertains to my enjoyment with God. Then he says this. Come on, here it is. He says, and furthermore, are y'all with me here? He said, if you didn't like that, I can become more undignified than this. If you thought that was bad for my pleasure with the Lord, oh, I can become more undignified than this. Now, come on, I'm closing. Here it is. Some would say, well, it don't take all that. But here's the scary part. It does take all that. See, because David was so hung up on God that he lost it for the Lord. The word undignified, or in some Bibles it says more vile, literally means foolish. I'll become more foolish than this when it comes to my servanthood for God. In other words, I become so undignified for God that I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what folks think about me or what they're saying about me. Matter of fact, can I make it real plain about even giving? Like, my worship for God is so undignified that I'll write this check and don't even think twice about what I just wrote. See, before some of us write the check, we thinking, well, let me see, before I write this check, I got some electric, I got some gas, I got to get some food, I got to buy some, no, I won't get the shoes. Okay, all right, God, here. That's giving God what's left. When you become an undignified worshiper, you don't care. God, my worship, my love, my heart is so ingrained to you. It's so out there for you. Here's a check. Take it. That's what's known as a cheerful giver, when I come hilariously laughing, recognizing that what I gave to God, he can use it and give it back 100-fold. I wish I had somebody up in here. See, becoming undignified means daring your reputation, becoming a fool for Christ, willing to abandon your position, your reputation, and your pride to worship God whatever it takes. And I believe that losing it sometimes keeps my edge. What do you mean, Pastor, your edge? See, every day we're faced with pressures, with situations, with responsibilities, with distractions. And the key to make it through all of this is to somehow, how do I keep vibrant for God? In the midst of trials and tribulations, how do I keep it going for the Lord? See, would I lose it for God by running around the church? All right, that's not me, Pastor. That ain't my, no, that ain't my character. I don't be running around churches. But then you get to a point where instead of just running, you put your shoes on first to run. And then when you start thinking about putting your shoes on, then you get to a point where you say, you know what? I ain't going to run today. I'll run next day. And you slowly decline in your undignity for God. See, being undignified, where I'm going to do it regardless, keeps my edge. It keeps me focused on what God would have me to do, regardless of what people think about me. That's what we need in church, is some undignified worshipers. Verse 14, David lost it. Can I make it plain today? I'm closing. Here it is. He went in. He with all his might, he actually intimated violent worship, leaping, divesting of his royal mantle. He became in a state of undress for the king. His conduct was inappropriate for some, unsuitable to other, even the gravity of his age. Because some of us right now say, well, Pastor, I hear you, but that's for the young folk. No, it ain't. I need some old folk to get undignified.